All right, I want to tell you an amazing technique that Jesus showed with his parables that will really make a Christian channel more watchable and also get more views, because parables are not for robots.
What?
Now you might be thinking this is clickbait. Clickbait is for machines. There really are things that we can take from parables and apply these to our titles and our thumbnails. And there is a third thing which I will go over, but more about that in a sec. My name is Craig and this is Morningstar Better Thumbnails. Don't make great thumbnails, just make them better. So what do parables have to do with thumbnails? Let me show you. Because when I saw this, I have to say I was a little excited. When Jesus told parables, he was giving a moral story. He was showing a story. You could visualize it. You could feel it. Robots can't feel.
You do realise I'm in the room.
Our mission as Christians is to show the world about God's truth to people. So let's look into what is a parable, and hopefully it will start to make sense. The definition of a parable is a short tale that illustrates a universal truth in a simple way. And if we break a parable down, it comes down to three things. It sketches a setting, describes an action, and shows the results. Now, I'm not going to go over the history and theological discussions of each parable. That isn't the point of what I want to go through today. But how can we apply this technique of parables, well, to our Christian YouTube channel, and more importantly, your people? This first part of the Christian creator triangle that I've called it, the first part of the parable is sketches a setting. This setting is our title. Imagine if Jesus said, look after the homeless, and then walked off. It doesn't really sound so great. To robots, this would sound okay. They know what he's talking about. Job done. But it's not for robots. And unfortunately, our video titles sound so much like this. Now, Jesus was talking to people. He wanted to get to our hearts. Love the Lord your God with all of your hearts and mind and soul. And the next bit, love others as you would love yourself. So instead, Jesus looked at all the people around him and said, there was a rich man who was clothed in purple and fine linen, and who feasted sumptuously every day. And at his gate lay a poor man named Lazarus, full of sores. There's the setting, and it leaves us hanging. We want to know more. Too many times our titles just sound like be good to everyone, or 5 tips to be good. Doesn't really make you want to click. What about this one? The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. Now, Jesus could have stopped there. After all, isn't that what the rest of the parable is about? But he goes on. But while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. Wait, what's going to happen next? We are instantly intrigued. Now, there are 7 ways we can write our titles to be interesting and intriguing, leaving our audience wanting more, and they have to click and to find out what's going to happen next. And this is only the top of the Christian creator triangle. Got to have a better name for that, but I'll get to the other 2 in a moment. But let's just concentrate on the first one of this list. Now, think about the parables that Jesus said and which one of these he was using. It's just that he was talking to people because he wanted to get to our hearts. And we do love intriguing. So, number 1, open a loop. Now, I guess the best example could be the best verse in the Bible, you are missing. It kind of leaves you hanging. And what about the parable of the rich man? There was a rich man, and at his gate lay a poor man full of sores. That just leaves it open to want to know what's next. All right, number 2, the negative list. An example could be the 5 verses that aren't in the Bible, or at least perceived that aren't in the Bible. Or, you know what I'm getting at. It's a list that in one way it sounds negative and you want to find out more because it just doesn't sound quite right. Number 3, reveal a secret. 5 things you didn't realize about the Bible. 5 things you didn't realize that was in the Bible. Love God, love others. That's a good secret. Number 4, challenge assumptions. I thought about this the other day. I'm going to do a story on Jonah and the whale. Big fish. And I've been trying to come up with a title. What about this one? The story of Jonah is not about the whale. It leaves you hanging. What are we up to? Number 5, use contrasts. Can a Christian earn money on YouTube? It's kind of a contrast. Number 6, talk about the future. An example I thought of was, can Christians have anything to do with NFTs? You can think of anything you'd like, but just think about what the future's going to bring. Sometimes it's anxiety about the future, or it's going to be cool. Just talk about the future. Now, this one's an odd one. Be oddly specific. 59 verses in the Bible that say this one thing. I guess it's being very specific about something that you think, why are they being so specific? So that's the top of the triangle with titles. But what about the next part, the thumbnail? The thumbnail should be an extension of the title in action. Give a visual of what the title is about. The whole reason for Jesus giving these parables in the first place is to give us a visual to a moral truth that our hearts can hear and want to hear. If Jesus came out and said, don't do that, without a visual, I mean, if we could go back to the rich man parable, the title could be, there was a rich man and at his gate lay a poor man. The thumbnail could be a picture of a rich man who was clothed in purple standing behind a gate with a homeless person full of sores in front of the gate. That says so much. I mean, you could use words, but you don't have to. And if you do use words, limit it to 5 or 6 or less, because we seem to want to make them great and put 20 words or something in a title, but we just need to make them better. 5 or less will do. This is where the third part comes in, showing the results, the story itself, which is where your video comes in. Now with this, say the title in the first couple of seconds or paraphrase it. You probably noticed I did that in this video. And make sure you talk about the subject at hand. Jesus didn't start parables by telling everyone how many followers he had at the time, or, sorry, I haven't spoken in a while, been a bit of a journey getting here. No, he didn't. He just told and showed the story. Each element is intriguing for people. The parables are not for robots. They are for people. They are to be intriguing, and they are to get to our hearts. Oh, and the biggest thing, please, 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 craft all this, your titles and your thumbnails and everything, way before picking up your camera and recording. You'll be amazed how much better your videos will be. I started this out as how to craft titles for your videos, because videos are not for robots.
But I just subscribe.
If you're beginning your YouTube journey and you think your channel is broken, then this video is for you, because I go through all the reasons why it might be broken or not broken enough. Go create something awesome for God, and I'll catch you in the next one.